We take a few pieces of foam and some dowel and turn it into a watchtower worthy of Lothlorien. That is the project today. We'll be building this from scratch, we'll be building the tower, the base, we'll be carving in some details, and we'll be looking at a paint job that brings in some extra detail that is not just a grey dry brush. I'm Mike from Hobbit, and this is Modelling Workshop. To help with the dimensions and to allow you to create your own, I've created this 2-page guide showing all the pieces we'll need. I'll start by cutting everything out. Everything is made from XPS foam. My foam is 2 cm thick, but I want the tower to be 4 cm square, so I mark and cut out 2 of the tower pieces, roughly at first, cutting them to size and then glue them together. Next we can trace the design and get it cut out. A hot wire cutter is going to be our friend for this build, but you can definitely use a craft knife. It will just take a little longer and you'll need to sharpen your blade often, as foam dulls it very quickly. Using the template, I've added some darker areas to represent where we'll have a slight bevel. You can go ahead and cut those off, then use the top pieces to mark the bevels onto the sides. Now, using a knife, cut those out at an angle. For the bottom of the tower, we want a more gentle curve. This will have to be done freehand, so just shape it in whatever way you think looks best. Now flip it over and repeat the same process for the back. The top of the tower has 2 octagon shapes to match the tower. Cut a couple of pieces and in one of them create a hole. This is for some wood later to represent a hatch. Now bevel those edges. For the top we want some petal-like shapes. Take the petal template and cut it out. Along with the template, I've created a side profile which you can copy over, then cut out. You'll need 4 of these, and once they're cut you can soften the edges by pressing down on the foam. For the door, we'll use the door template to cut 2 pieces of foam. On one of them, mark out the door frame and cut it away. We'll add some simple wood texture for the door. First, mark in a few lines for the planks and use a pen to widen them. Then use a wired brush for some quick and easy wood grain. For the supports, cut some dowels, then use thin garden wire to wrap around them. First wrap up, then go back down, overlapping the design. Try to keep it as tight and as neat as possible. We now have all the pieces needed for the tower, so let's get gluing. I'm using hot glue because I'm impatient, but PVA or Mod Podge would definitely be a better option here. If you're already a subscriber, you'll likely know that I just love to burn my fingers on hot glue, but not today. Protection. Stay safe, kids. I nearly forgot the wooden hatch. This is just a quick piece of balsa wood, cut to size and slotted in. Glue on the supports and then the top. For the petals, I cut a bit of scrap foam to fit and glued them in place. Next, I add the door. And that's our tower done. Now let's build a place for it to sit. We have 3 shapes to cut, but because my foam stock isn't big enough for the templates, I had to print them in 2 halves. Mark and cut these out, the steps at the front, the main platform and the canopy. To make the steps, we'll create some guide marks to help with cutting. I use a craft knife to mark the foam, using the middle of the dark area on the printout as a guide. For the height of the stairs, each step is roughly 2.5mm high, so mark that on the sides as well. I then use a hot wire cutter to follow my guidelines. For the canopy, we'll need to create a longer slope side. Again, using the templates, cut out the dark area and mark a diagonal line. This gives us a quick guide to follow with the hot wire cutter. Now we need to glue all those pieces together, and again I use hot glue, again I think Mod Podge would be better, and again I burn myself. I use the side of a pen to soften the edges and flatten the stairs. The canopy gets glued onto the tower, roughly 6cm up. Now we're going to do a bit of carving for some extra details. We'll make some flagstones for under the canopy. Use your template to mark out the shape, then roughly mark out 5 flagstones on each side. Cut them in with a knife and use a pen to deepen the lines. Next, we'll mark out a circle. If you own a compass, use that. For a man who owns far too many crafting things, a compass is still not one of those things, so I use a colour wheel which just happened to be the perfect size. These next bits are really open for you to decide what you think works best. For the leaf design, I have included this page with a few different sizes on it. It's based on the leaves of Lothlorien. Now if you'll just indulge me for 1 minute while I do this carving, I wanted to share a few thoughts on building terrain by hand. I used to look at this kind of carving and cutting and feel like it needed to be super neat, super clean and almost perfect. But the more I've made terrain, the more I've come to believe that the beauty of handmade pieces is in the imperfections. Maybe your design isn't perfectly symmetrical, maybe you cut a step a little too deep or slightly wonky. Maybe you look at it and think it's too simple looking, or that you could have achieved something far cleaner with a 3D print. But I think we need to learn to love those little imperfections. They're what make your terrain yours. They show that you put your time, your attention and a bit of yourself into what you've made. At the end of the day, you're trying to capture a feeling. These little pieces of terrain are in their own way little pieces of art. And that your terrain doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to make you feel something. With that said, let's get to painting. We'll start with a base layer, and this is my favourite colour for terrain base layers. It's a really dark blue, almost black, and it creates a lovely shadow colour compared with pure black. If you want to try it, just mix some blue into a black and try that. I also add pieces of dowel that fit under the canopy, then do a few more layers of the blue-black. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, this is something that I've learnt with my terrain, and it's particularly useful for stone. Add in some underlayer colours. Pretty much any colour works. Here I use some golden brown, a couple of green shades, a peach and some blue. Don't wait for it to dry between each layer or colour. The colours mixing together helps create even more shades. With that done, let it dry before moving on to the next stage, which is the first main dry brush. I'm using a blue shaded grey for mine. Take most of the paint off your brush and lightly brush it all over the model. You can still see some layers underneath, subtly changing the colours, which adds more interest into the paintwork. Once that layer is dry, you can go up to a much lighter grey and a much lighter dry brush to highlight the edges. I use some speed paints to paint in the leaf design and the wooden door. And now let's add a few little extra details. I have some of these fake vines, so I glue on a few of those in place with Mod Podge. On the base I add a few random foam flocks and a few fake leaves. Then I protect all that paintwork with an all-over matte varnish. And we're finished. Our Elven Watchpost is ready to be the central meeting point, or a central objective on our game boards. hope you enjoyed this one, it was a really fun build for me. A huge thank you to all my Patreon supporters who support me on this journey, and if you want a copy of the templates I've used, head over to Patreon. Until next time, happy modelling.